Hi, this is Big Mac, and I am the Portly Paratrooper. So, I've decided to make this video because there's been a lot of mess in the media lately because of all the mass shootings, and then you know, they're picking up, want to pass some gun legislation, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about assault rifles, what an assault rifle is, what qualifies as an assault rifle. So I just want to shed a little light on this, and you know, if you're versed in weapons, this video is not for you. This is for people that just don't know. So, you know, my apologies if you are the super sapper, Ranger qualified, #1, numero uno, most Ricky Tick cat out there. Okay, this ain't for you. This is for people that aren't in the know. Okay. So I have a couple of weapons here that I'm going to go ahead and clear. Alright, weapon is unsafe. I've already removed the magazine. I will go ahead and clear the chamber. Nothing in the chamber. And we'll go ahead, now that we know that it is clear, we'll go ahead and drop the hammer on it. I don't hear no crap about dry fires. You know, you might not do yours, but I do mine. So this weapon is clear. Alright, let's see here. Weapon on safe. Alright. Chamber is clear. Alright. So those weapons are clear. So the first weapon here is a, and I've already checked the magazine. Magazine is clear. Oh my God, it's a scary looking gun. Oh my goodness. Okay, so this is what everybody refers to as an AK-47. This particular one is actually a SAR-1. I believe they are from Czech or Yugo or somewhere like that. They were imported for a while, and then they got to the WASRs, the WASR. But this is an earlier one. I've had this one for about 10 years. And oh my God, in that 10-year time, this weapon has never killed anybody. It has never fired at anyone. It has never shot anybody. Actually, this is my pig gun. So, you know, the 30-40 round magazine. I think this one's the 40. Whenever I run into some hogs, this sure does help take down and eliminate the nuisance hog problem that we have around here. So this is what I use this gun for. So let's talk about the qualifiers for an assault rifle. There are three main qualifiers, right? Three main qualifiers for a weapon to be considered an assault rifle. And we get these from Germany's pursuit of the assault rifle. Germany produced the first assault rifle back in World War II. It was called the Sturmgewehr. Sturmgewehr something rather. You can look it up, you know, but they were attempting to develop an assault rifle. Their qualifications were first a detachable magazine. Why do you want a detachable magazine? Because you can have magazines preloaded so that when you empty one you can quickly change. The old style gun, I don't know if you've ever seen any World War II movies or beyond that, but at the time there was something called a stripper clip, which had your bullets on a little clip. You pushed them down, you shot, and then it came out. And so the actual main battle rifle, the Garand, had an internal magazine, and you had these little clips, and you put the little clips in there, and at the end of it it would go pa-ching and shoot the little clip out. And prior to that, you know, most weapons were bolt action, and as we got to semi-automatic weapons, they had internal box magazines. So you know, that's hard to load when you're in battle, in war. So what they wanted was a detachable magazine. That's one of the main qualifiers for an assault rifle. But again, there are three. So this does have the detachable magazine. The second qualifier is an intermediate cartridge. You know, the main battle rifles of the day were 30-06 and 308. These are large cartridges, so just for comparison's sake, I'll show you the difference between the two. Right here we have a Winchester 308, and here we have the AK-47 round, which is a 7.62 by 39. If you look closely, you can see that there is a big difference between the size of the cartridge itself. Now, the bullet itself, if we put these up, the diameter of the bullet is exactly the same. 7.62 is 30 caliber, and then .308 is right around 30 caliber. The only difference being the cartridge size, and that is how much propellant or powder is in the round. So the 308 has a much higher velocity and range than the AK-47 round, which has a lot less powder. So going out further, this isn't going to do quite as much damage, and it's going to have a lot of bullet drop because of the weight of the bullet, and these tend to ricochet around quite a lot. Whenever you shoot far, it'll bounce off of stuff. Still a powerful round, but that's what's considered an intermediate cartridge, which is the second qualifier for an assault rifle. Now, the final and probably the most important qualifier for an assault rifle is the option of select fire via a selector lever. And what that means is they want to be able to shoot in semi-automatic and some form of automatic fire, such as fully automatic or burst fire. Semi-automatic, whenever you squeeze the trigger, you fire one round. It auto-loads the next round, but you have to release the trigger and squeeze it again to shoot another round. So every trigger pull is one bullet. 3-round burst, just what it says. When you squeeze the trigger, 3 rounds fly out of the gun. I think some other countries, they might have a higher burst. It's not 3-round, it's a couple. The M16, our main battle rifle, has 3-round burst. And then of course full auto, which most other countries use a full auto configuration. So on an AK-47, generally this is safe. Then you would have a middle position, which would be semi-automatic, and then you have a final position, which would be full automatic. This does not have this. This is not an assault rifle. This is a sporterized civilian version, which is a copy of the AK-47, and it's made in Czechoslovakia or Yugoslavia or something like that, and it was imported way back when they were importing these. So again, third one is select fire, meaning some sort of full automatic type fire. So you would have safe, and you would have the middle position, which is semi-automatic, and then you have a final position, which is full auto. This does not have this. This has off or safe and semi-automatic, which is every trigger pull is one bullet or one round. All right. So again, now that we know that this is not an assault rifle, we need to quit using that, especially the media, which is left-leaning to begin with. They like to use that military-style assault rifle in the media to stir up everybody's fears, because that's what they do. You know, look at the news. There's nothing good on there. It's all bad. Everything is bad. They just like to talk. They want ratings. You know, they're not out there to inform us. They're out there to scare us. That's what the news does. So just be aware of that. The other weapon I have here is also not an assault rifle. It's an older style weapon. This is actually a SKS. I don't recall if this is a Norinco. Let me see if it's a Norinco. Remember, we did already clear these weapons. Looking for that Norinco stamp. This might actually be... Where's that booger at? Where's it at? Home before. Okay, so it's not a Norinco, but it is Chinese made. They had several companies that made these things. This gun has been around a long time. Some history buff can look it up and tell you when they first came out. I like history, but you know, not on this gun in particular, because these are abundant and they're fun. They're good shooters. You can do some plinking. The ammunition is cheap. So we'll look. This is what we call an internal box magazine. The magazine is attached to the weapon. You cannot remove it beyond taking the gun apart, really. They do have some conversion kits that allow you to put a detachable magazine on here, and they actually have a funny looking duckbill that sticks off of them. I don't like them too much, so I just leave it as it is. And I think there's another conversion kit that you put it in there and that it allows to accept regular AK type mags. I don't care for that. I keep it as it is. It was a cheap gun, so I'm not going to spend a lot of money on it. I'm going to shoot it and enjoy it. And you know, one day I might even decide to sand the stock down, and because there's about 100 years worth of cosmoline on this dead gum stock. But it shoots fine, and so I like it. And again, no select fire. This has a semi-automatic and fire. That's it. It does not have a detachable magazine, but it does shoot the intermediate cartridge. So this falls under the, it has one of the qualifiers, which is the intermediate cartridge. It does not fire in full auto. It only fires in semi-auto, and it does not have a detachable magazine. So this only fits one of the descriptions. But you can take this weapon and add a different stock to it, and a different butt plate to it, and do all kinds of stuff to this gun and make it look really scary, and the media will call it a military style assault rifle, because that's what they do. They, you know, scary looking guns is what they're talking about when they say military style. I don't know, for those of you out there in the military, we didn't always get the best stuff. They like to use military grade, military style in advertisements and in the media, but we didn't always have the best stuff, and I'm sure some of our guys in Iraq and Afghanistan can attest to that. So a lot of times when they say military grade or military style, that doesn't mean it's the best. It just means it meets the minimum qualifications. So I like to laugh at that whenever they say that in the media, because it's, you know, kind of silly. You know, some stuff was good, but God, some of the stuff was horrible. Hopefully we've gotten a little better at that and protect our boys. I've been out for a while now, so as you can see, because I'm a little fluffy there. So what was I going to say about this gun? Oh yeah, you can put all kind of stuff on this gun and make it look just as evil and scary as the other one, but it still shoots the exact same round. As basically, this one's probably more accurate because it does have a milled receiver, and I don't know the twist ratio on this, but it's probably better than the AK. And the AK is or the SAR-1 is stamped rather than milled, so it's going to move around a bit and alter its accuracy. Of course, this barrel is pretty dark, but it's still a shootable bore. So, but yeah, this weapon versus the one I just showed you, they both shoot the same round, but one is scarier than the other, and one they would refer to as an assault rifle. This was actually a main battle rifle in the day, and now it is a curio and relic eligible weapon. So you can pay $30 and submit your background check, and you can have these delivered to your door. I used to have a C&R, but I gave mine up because I just got bored with it. You know, because it's pretty much the same old guns, and after you get them, then yeah, there's nothing else out there because you have to wait for them to register the next gun as curio and relic. But it was neat for a while, and I do enjoy these guns. I've had plenty of them over the years. None of them that I've ever owned have ever hurt anyone. Matter of fact, no gun that I've owned has ever hurt anyone or shot anyone. Amazing. Isn't that amazing that you can have a gun and it not shoot anybody? Because the fact of the matter is that guns don't do it. A gun is a tool, just like with any tool. If you work on a bandsaw, there's an inherent danger in using a bandsaw, because what does it do? What is it designed to do? It is designed to cut. So if you put your finger there, it is going to cut it. No ifs, ands, or buts. And a gun is no different than that. It is a tool. If you point it at somebody and pull the trigger, they are going to be shot and possibly killed. That's what the weapon is designed to do. But it's not going to do it on its own. The only time that happens is if people are not following safety protocols, and they just are lax with their training or become complacent with the weapon. They tend to have accidents. There's been a couple in the media recently. There was the kid I think they were at a full auto range, and he shot his dad, and then there was one recently where the dad shot his son. I don't take my kids shooting. I'm teaching them very slowly about weapons, firearms, and the safe handling of such, just because I'm gauging their maturity. And kids tend to not understand life and death, and to hit home with that, and especially with the media, games that they play, television shows they watch. And I monitor what my kids play on PlayStation, and I don't allow them to play Call of Duty or anything like that. If it's cartoony-ish, then okay, but if it's real, I really don't like that. And movies they watch, because it's in the media. If you look in the media, every time there's a gun in a scene, if it's not a war movie, if it's a action movie with big time actors, they're going to be looking cool shooting guns. They're going to portray that lifestyle as being cool, and they're gonna say a phrase after they shoot somebody. They got a catchphrase after they shoot somebody. They're gonna hold their gun cool to the side, or do something cool with it, and that's not healthy for kids, because they don't understand yet. They don't know life and death. Especially boys are full of testosterone. So with my kids, I'm gauging their maturity levels and getting them the basics down. No rush. If they want to get one later, then that's fine. But I want to know that I've given them the base, so that when they do go and purchase a weapon, they'll know how to use it properly and respect it for what it is. A tool that can seriously harm or kill you or someone else. So, that being said, I am a Second Amendment supporter, but I do have some stipulations with that. I do think we ought to institute some gun control, and I'm probably going to get some flack with that. But let me shed some light on what I'm saying. First thing is, I do think they should outlaw high-capacity magazines. Second Amendment says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Okay, keep and bear arms. And I might be misquoting it just a little bit, so somebody will jump on me for that, I'm sure. If not, look it up. We have the World Wide Web. You can look it up on USA.gov or whatever. But I particularly don't need one of these. I like to use it because it's easier for me to take 40 and 30 and several of these magazines that hold 40 or 30 rounds with me on a hog hunt, and I can rapidly change from one to another. I am more highly trained than your average everyday civilian. I did 9 years in the U.S. Army. I was a paratrooper. So I can employ a weapon systems with great ease and accuracy, and so that doesn't bother me. If I have to be reduced down to 20 round magazines or less, I'll just have more magazines, and I will rapidly reload, whereas somebody without the training may not, which could make the difference between life or death. So imagine a mass shooter in a theater perhaps, and instead of having a 100-round drum magazine for one of his weapons, he's got a 10 or 20 round box magazine. Alright, so he runs through those 20 rounds. Guess what? He's got to stop and reload. Okay, well, during that time space while he's reloading, a concealed handgun holder or people en masse rush him, take his weapon from him, either kill him or hold him till the police gets there. So yeah, I really no use for high capacity magazines. Now, I think they should ban the import and new manufacture of all high capacity magazines. The ones already owned are out there, and they will, you know, through attrition and everything else, be going south. You know, they'll either become damaged and you won't be unable to use them, or, you know, people like me will just hold on to ours and they'll be grandfathered, but they won't be in the hands of bad people. So now, if you want to purchase one, I think that they should be just as monitored or regulated as fully automatic weapons, because a fully automatic weapon is basically a weapon of mass destruction. You can unleash some hell on somebody with that, and regular civilians shouldn't have that unless they go through some strict regulation and have the FBI look into their history and whatnot, and register, you know, everything that that Class 2 entails. So yeah, I think they should ban the import and new manufacture of all high capacity magazines. I think that would actually be some helpful regulation, and with that you don't actually have to do anything to the Second Amendment, because this is not an arm. This is an arm. You're not supposed to infringe upon my rights with this. But this is not. This is an attachment. So I think we could do something with that. And that would be some legislation that would actually do some good. You're not hurting me by taking away high capacity magazines. I'm a law abiding citizen. It's nothing to me. I'd be fine with it. Yeah, I'd be happy that somebody actually took some action. The second thing I think they should do is you know, there's a lot of meta information out there that the FBI has. They're monitoring so many people now. There's so much information that it's almost like white noise, and they can't take the information that they need out. And in the case of the Florida shooter, the Orlando shooter, he had been on some watch lists before. The problem is that they can't act. I think the government should have the power and ability to act. If at the very least, whenever you go to purchase a gun and you're flagged, they should at least instill some sort of waiting period, and then have the FBI look more closely at you. Again, that's not hurting me. I am a law-abiding citizen. I don't do anything wrong. I don't get in trouble. I'm not out to get in trouble. Having to wait 15 days for a gun is not an issue. Typically, when I buy a gun, it's a long planned purchase. I've saved up to purchase that weapon, and you know, it comes home with me, and then I take it out on the range a week or so later. You know, who buys a gun that day and then goes to the range, unless you have an indoor gun range? But typically, you know, you take it home, you inspect it, you clean it, you learn your functions on it, and then you take it to the range. Taking it to the range with live ammo is not the place to learn functions. That's something you need to learn beforehand, and then when you go with live ammo, you have a little training behind you. So yeah, I think that everybody should, or the FBI should be able to act upon the information that they get. We should institute some sort of background check that whenever you do an FFL, where they can actually either waiting periods or something of that measure. It's not infringing on me. I mean, I know people are going to say, oh, that's infringing upon me. You know, you're making it harder for me to buy a gun. The difference between 1 day and 15 days, if it might stop somebody from shooting up a school or a club or something like that, it's not hurting my feelings any. You know, I'm still exercising my right to keep and bear arms. I can still obtain weapons. You know, so. And to all the people that say, oh, what if the government comes? And I'm going to quote Mel Gibson and We Were Soldiers, or not Mel Gibson, I'm sorry, who is that? Sam Elliott's character in We Were Soldiers. If the time comes when I need one, there's going to be enough laying on the ground. So just remember that for all you people that believe that the Second Amendment is there to keep us in charge of the government. If it ever came down to it and the government fell, or we had to revolt against the government, there will be plenty of weapons laying around. So I don't think my weapons at my house would be something that I would use. I would prefer to obtain something that's full auto, you know, and if that's, I don't know, that's just me being a soldier. Not that I'm wanting to do that or anything, because yeah, a lot of people would be in a bad way if that happened. But, you know, I'm just saying, if it came to that, there would be plenty of guns lying around. You'd be able to pick one up and go handle your business, okay? So, yeah, me having to wait a couple days to get a rifle or a pistol doesn't bother me. What was I going to say? The next thing, you know, I got 3 points on gun control. I think that, and I'll do a little backstory on this. I have watched some of the dingiest people come into a gun shop and purchase a weapon and walk out of there, and they don't know how to operate the thing. They give them some real basic information about how to employ this weapon system, and then they're walking out the door. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this person's going to shoot somebody. This person's going to shoot themselves. That's what they're going to do. So I really think, you know, and as a hunter, we have to take a hunter safety education course type thing, and I think the same thing should be with a weapon. When you buy a weapon, you need to take a day. You need to take a day off, and the FFL dealer should be required to give you a full-on safety course with that weapon, show you how to work it, so your functions check, how to clear it, and all that stuff. Not all of them do it. I've seen some bad ones. I've seen some good ones too. I've seen quite a few good, reputable places take a client through, you know, everything they could right there. I mean, it was still quick. I mean, it was 20 minutes or so, but that's better than nothing. But I really think they should design a course with a test to show some proficiency. What the? So somebody's phone's going off. Sorry about that. I have no idea whose phone that is, but it is going off. So yeah, I'm going to have to go check this because I don't know what it is. Again, I think there should be some kind of, well, praise the gods. Right in the middle, I was almost done. Yay! Okay, so yeah, 3 things. I think they should ban the high-capacity magazines. I think there should be, or that the FBI can act on the information they get for people that are on no-fly lists or are flagged for some reason, you know, and maybe institute some waiting periods. And then the third, I think that people should have to take a safety course for a firearm. Whenever you purchase a firearm, you need to take a safety course and be able to use it, you know, proficiently. And I know, probably going to make some people mad, but really, there are some dummies. Heck, I had some dummies in my unit before that were just, you know, a couple short, and you know, I had to saddle up next to these cats, and even after some training, these guys were not, you know, it wasn't a whole lot of them, but every once in a while you get that one guy that you thought, man, this guy's going to get us killed. Yeah. But, you know, in the civilian world, you can just go without ever owning a weapon, touching a weapon before, go to a gun store, buy a gun, take it home that day with ammunition, and, you know, probably, you know, maybe shoot yourself, I don't know, on accident. So, yeah. I'm for the gun safety. I'm a big gun safety guy. You know, Again, I do support the Second Amendment. I am slowly but surely teaching my own children. Um, with children, you have to judge their maturity level as you bring firearms into their lives. Um, the media, the games and music and everything like that. Of course, I kind of monitor that too. I don't like them to play certain games, and definitely don't want them watching movies they shouldn't be watching, or listening to music they probably shouldn't be listening to yet. When you're older and you can make better decisions, okay, but right now, no. Right now, just showing them little by little, and eventually we'll bring it all together. And once they can understand that, then if they want to shoot, or they want to own a weapon, that's fine. But that'll be their choice. I'm not going to force it on them. Um, you know, I'll give them the information, and whenever they get to a point, if they want to purchase a firearm or own firearms, that's okay. If they don't, that's okay too. I want them to be safe and feel safe. I don't know. Who knows? So, hey, this has been fun. Sorry about the interruption, but hey, I'm out of here. Y'all have a good one. Be safe.